Toledo Public Schools unveiling a plan to save millions of dollars, including 6 local schools.
Yeah, but that's not all that is on the table when it comes to cuts.
Proposal tonight's about $27 million in savings over the next couple of years, but there was a $68 million deficit. Where's the other 41 being made up for?
So the Toledo Public School District trying to climb out of that nearly $70 million budget deficit. The district has already cut more than 100 jobs to try to save money.
But tonight it unveiled a long-awaited proposal to save more, and it'll mean combining multiple elementary schools, forming new schools, and tweaking sports.
And our Steve Iwanek, he was at the Board of Education committee meeting earlier this evening. He joins us now with a breakdown of the proposal at hand. Steve?
Jeff Cayley, good evening. District leaders tell me that this proposal would save TPS about $27 million over the next 2 years. And those savings come on top of what leaders say are savings that they found already, which includes, as you mentioned, those about 100 job cuts that were made earlier this year. So let's take a look at how leaders say they're going to get TPS out of the red over the next 2 years. Let's start with the elementary schools. Under this plan, 6 of them would close and then be repurposed. The 6 include Harvard, Navarre, Pickett, Spring, Walbridge, and Westfield Academy. Those students would move into other buildings across the district.
Rather than have a building that's underutilized in essence of students and being able to spread them out throughout that community at other schools, we could use and repurpose that facility to address many needs that we have in our district.
At the high school level, Superintendent Romulus Durant says Bousher High School would become an arts and science academy. Bousher would also open its doors to some 7th and 8th grade students for career tech programs. Same goes for Start High School, too.
Just say your child is at Bowser, your child wants to do advanced manufacturing. Advanced manufacturing is having that Start as well as Scott High School. There's an ability to have your child bus between certain periods of the day to go over there to get that program, or there's an ability for your child to be enrolled into those schools to get that same certification.
Then there's staffing. $9.2 million of the near $27 million in savings would come from personnel cuts.
It could come in essence of a freeze, and which will help salvage those positions, or in moving forward on reductions of staff to do just as well.
Families would also see changes to their daily routine. New school start times would roll out in 2026, with high school starting at 7:30. Some elementaries would start at 8:25, others at 9:25. Something board president Chris Varwick says still needs to be flushed out.
I'm very concerned about that in the CBA language, so the contract language. So I will be asking more in depth about that, as well as conferencing with our board attorney.
And the question of if athletics would go away, leaders say no. The district says sports teams will only be offered if they're considered viable, potentially leading to fewer teams affiliated with the OHSAA and instead become club teams.
What we're doing is being more efficient in essence of it makes no sense to have tennis programs with 2 players, and then you're paying for a coach. Yep, according to just that. And so this allows us to be more strategic.
Now, all of those details are part of a proposal that district leaders say will, quote, save money while preserving the student experience. But I want to be very clear. I want to stress it to you all at home. This is just a proposal, and tonight was just a conversation about details that the Board of Education is going to have to consider. The soonest that the board could vote on this proposal is their next meeting on April 28th. Jeff and Kaylee, back over to you.
All right, thanks, Steve. Now to one of the biggest questions for families as Toledo Public Schools moves ahead with its transformational plan proposal: how students will get to school.
Yeah, with buildings closing, schools merging, and a 1-mile walk zone radius remaining in place, transportation is expected to change for thousands of students. So that 1-mile walk zone will stay in place, meaning students who live within a mile of their school will not be bused.
But as elementary schools close or merge, some students will be reassigned farther from home, possibly adding miles to their daily commute. Faith Zahowski explains what families can expect.
Most of Toledo Public's 21,000 students typically live within a mile of their school. But under the district's new transformation plan, those distances could change, forcing parents and students to figure out new routes. We did some looking into it. Under this proposal, Harvard Elementary, which is on Glendale, would merge with Beverly Elementary over on Detroit. That's close to 2 miles, about a 5-minute drive. On the east side, Navarre Elementary is on Kingston, and those students will be reassigned to Birmingham, East Broadway Elementary, Garfield, or Raymer. So look at this. Birmingham is about 8 minutes away from Navarre, East Broadway about 6 minutes, and both Garfield and Raymer are 4. Let's jump over to Old Orchard. Under Transformation 2.0, that building will shift from housing junior high students to only K through 6. Those older students would go to Elmhurst, which is about 9 minutes away, or can apply to Start High School, about the same distance. Finally, Marshall STEM Academy will also become K through 6, with students reassigned to Burroughs, Arlington, or by application to Bowsher, which could add up to 10 minutes in drive time.
Keep in mind, there are a lot of other schools that were mentioned today. This was just a small sampling, and those drive times didn't take into account bus stops. District officials say students will still have options based on their needs and interests. Families can choose for students to remain in their current K through 6, their K through 8th elementary school, or apply to attend Bowsher or Start.